Welcome to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and I'm with my beautiful wife, Corey Silva.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending and Silva Property Management. We've been in the real estate and mortgage industry since the early 2000s, and we're super excited and grateful to have you all here with us today. Welcome to the second week of April. Who else is enjoying this beautiful spring weather? The sun came out yesterday just in time for spring, and actually this past weekend for Easter, and the rain is behind us, hopefully. The flowers are blooming. The trees have beautiful flowers all over them. How are you enjoying this spring weather?
I mean, is it bad that I missed the rain? So am I the only one?
No, I mean, it's kind of gloomy today, and I heard that it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I don't know how accurate that is.
It was just strange. Like overnight, it went from being cold to being hot. And I think it might have happened on Easter. I'm not sure, but it happened over the weekend.
Yeah, Easter was 80-some degrees.
Yeah, so
I was ready to get the hose out and hose these kids down and have a water balloon fight.
I felt like we skipped spring and went right into summer. It was
Yes.
the weirdest thing. And then on the way to the show, I'm like, oh, it's gloomy outside. It was a little chilly in the house. I think it's because we're on a hillside too, so we get like the breeze.
Right.
So I was like, oh man, I need to put a jacket on. And then I put the jacket on and I felt like a jackass having a jacket on in the car because I already had, the seatbelt on and stuff. And I was like, man, it's warm in here. So then I had to blast the AC.
It's very humid today. It's very humid. It's cloudy, but it's kind of warm out. I don't know. It's strange.
It's that weather when people are like, oh, it's earthquake weather outside. I feel like the same people that are like waiting for the earthquake to happen are waiting for the market to crash, right?
All of them. All of them. They're like, please let the big one hit so I could get a deal. I've heard that. I've heard that many
that too.
times.
It's
like, what? You're hoping for this major disaster so you could get a deal on a house.
What?
What?
How about, yeah.
It's so weird.
That
People
doesn't
are
make any
funny.
sense to me. But yeah, maybe it's earthquake weather today. We'll ask what people think if it's earthquake weather out there.
I don't know. I think earthquake weather for people is just like, it's different. It's out of the norm. It's not like what we're used to. So you got to put a label on it. Oh, it's earthquake weather.
Right.
So who knows? But Tanya is here with us. Hi, Tanya. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you always supporting us. She said she misses the rain and the cold. She wants it back. Is it sunny out by your house today? Because it's gloomy here. She would like this weather.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think the rain's behind us. We'll see. We'll see.
Check and see.
I think it's coming back.
Oh, Chris will be in heaven. So this past Sunday was Easter, and we'll all talk about that a little bit later. But we hope everyone had a great Easter Sunday with their friends and family. And for those of you who celebrated Passover, we hope you had a wonderful Passover as well. Be sure to drop a comment and let us know how your week and weekend went. We'd love to hear about it.
So we'll get into Easter a little bit later, right?
Right.
But this morning you had a really funny interaction with Santino. What happened like on the way, just actually to give people an idea of how every morning is.
Uh-huh.
Every morning you're doing your darndest to get him to school on time, right?
Oh my goodness,
he likes to
yes.
take his sweet time, right? He's kind of how I am,
I
right?
feel like Santino is Chris's little clone. Like he likes to do these things, I think, to push my buttons, right? Like Chris always loves to poke the bear. He likes to do these little things just to kind of like test me and get me going. And then be like, well, why are you mad, bro? And like that gets me even more mad. So this is what Santino does. He knows we have to leave the house at a certain time, right? And then he'll ask me, are we running late? I'm like, no, we got to leave by this time. Okay, so we're not running late. So he'll like drag his feet to go brush his teeth. I have to tell him like 4 times, did you get your shoes on? Brush your teeth. Did you get your shoes on? I feel like a crazy woman in the morning because I know if we leave 5 minutes later than we're supposed to, I'm going to be dealing with a lot of crazy parents in the morning. And I don't have time for crazy or stressful in the morning. I just want to go down the hill, easily cross the street, get into the parking lot, park, chill, take our time. If it's 5 minutes late, we're going to have to be doing a lot of illegal U-turns. I'm going to be dodging people running across the street illegally with their kids and avoiding car accidents. And I don't want to deal with that in the morning. So I tell him, baby, it's time. Like, let's go. Let's get out of here. I don't want to stress you out. I don't want you to stress me out. And he just smiles and like laughs. He's just like his dad.
The funniest part is like your energy is like here, and he's just chilling right here. Well, he's kind of like more middle, like even keeled, not phased. He's just gonna take the right amount of time,
Right.
like the perfect amount of time to do what he's got to do.
But you know what? I'm pretty much at that same level until it's getting closer to that time. I'm very calm in the morning because I want that energy reflected, right? I want him to be a chameleon. And he's doing a great job being calm, but sometimes he's a little bit too calm.
A little too calm. So what happened? What exactly happened this morning to add on to the morning routine?
The added routine and stress. So they have the book fair right now at school. And for all of us, we all experienced that growing up. They had the book fair. It was so much fun. You get to go see all the cool books that are coming out, and you get to go shopping with your class, and it's a fun time. So they already had their preview, and now they have a thing where you don't just send money with your kids. They got the e-wallet. There's an e-wallet. And so Santino asked me yesterday, are you going to set me up on that e-wallet? I was like, okay. Can I just give you cash?
Like, what is this e-wallet through?
It's through Scholastic Books. So I mean, they send this thing home at least every 2 months to buy books. And I'm in the position where I'm like, listen, my kids are begging me for books. I'm going to buy them books because I want them to read.
Sure.
I want them to learn. And he's not asking me for video games. So I buy books all the time through Scholastic. So it's funny that they actually have a book fair where I'm like, they've already had the book fair, but just not in person. So now it's this big hype, like, okay, I'm going to go get books, raise some money for the school. Awesome. So I'm like, why don't I just give you some money? And then Chris is like, what if he loses that? That's $40. He might lose. That's a lot of money to lose. Are you sure you don't want to do the e-wallet? And I'm like, okay, someone just needs to tell me, do I need to do this e-wallet? Because it's time for us to go. And I'm not going to be dealing with no crazy parents down there. So either I'm going to set up this e-wallet right now, or I'm going to give you $40. So what's going to happen?
I mean, he usually doesn't have money in his pocket more than like a couple dollars, right?
Right.
Like maybe like $1 and some change. So for him to have $40 all of a sudden, I mean, he kind of knows the value of money, but he doesn't know what it's like to lose $40.
Right. He would be pretty sad.
He would lose his damn
lost
mind
it.
if he lost $40. He
true.
would be devastated.
He would.
Right?
He would feel really bad. I mean, and Santino does leave his jacket behind. I mean, the last huge rain, he left his big jacket on the playground. I had to go get it the next day, and it was completely drenched. That's a whole nother story.
I picked him up 2 days ago. I had to go back to his classroom to get his lunchbox. Like, he
I don't know what's going on.
He forgets things all over the place.
Oh my gosh, he is so you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He is your clone.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So anyways, so I'm telling him, oh, no, Mom. It's okay. Don't set up the e-wallet. I'm going to go shopping with you once you pick me up from school, because I'm going to take Nola to the book fair once she gets out of school, because, they don't take her for her class because she's in kinder. Are you sure, Santino? Yes. I'm just going to go shop, Mom. I'm just going to go pick out what I want. Mind you, he already has a list of 6 things he wants.
So what happened?
So I'm like, are you sure? Yes. So we get down to the school. Are we late? I'm like, no, we're early. Oh, all right, cool. We're early. I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and get out. About that e-wallet. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
so you
kid.
did the e-wallet?
So you want the e-wallet? You want to go shopping with your classmates? Yes, Mom. Can you set it up for me? I didn't know. I just thought it was another form of payment. I didn't know I could actually use it when I go there. Oh my gosh. Well, good thing I didn't close that browser on my phone. So I set up his e-wallet really quick, and he's going to be able to go buy his books.
See, this is the difference.
Like a big boy.
This is the difference between me and you, right? So this is why the kids say, well, Mommy has more patience than Daddy.
Right. Because
Daddy doesn't give him a choice. It's either going to be the e-wallet or it's not going to be the e-wallet, but I'm going to make the decision. Where you give them the choices, and then it goes the back and forth. But hey, at least they get to decide on their own.
Yes, and he's going to have like a sense of responsibility and go pick out the books he wants and calculate how much money he has to spend, because he was already telling us, Chris, like, $40? Why do you need $40 to go to the book fair? Well, Dad, there's a book at 17 whatever I already saw, and this other book is 10. That's going to already take up a good portion of my $40, and I need to get 4 more books. So
I was like, that better be a hardcover. Paid no $17 for a
better
paperback.
come with an audio book too, so I could listen to it. So
it comes with like gems or something, because he's really into rocks.
Excited, yes. So I told him, don't worry if you don't have enough in your e-wallet. when we go later, we'll get the extra books that you want. So that was our fun story this morning. He got to school on time.
There you
Has
go.
time to play with his friends.
You made it, Mama.
Yeah, and I almost didn't get hit by any cars, so everything is good in the morning.
Nice.
Great way to start the day. No stress. Oh boy. So, well, if you happen to catch our show last week, then you might have caught our first guest, Colt Curtis with Attention to Detail Moving, and Scott Cran of Loan Depot. They were able to tell us all about their businesses, which was a lot of fun. And we would love to have you go back and watch the full episode if you weren't able to catch it. So check it out. They have a lot of valuable resources that they shared with us. And speaking of which, it's going to be a lot easier to catch up with our podcasts because we're going to be on Spotify and Apple episodes. And you could download and listen to them whenever you want, and they'll be in full episodes. So we're super excited about that. We'll be sure to make a big announcement once that all goes live. So stay tuned. And we always appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching them and going back and checking us out.
I'm curious because I just really got into podcasts. Listen, maybe, I don't know, this last football season. Because I used to pay for this show that I listened to on Sirius XM.
Right.
I remember I'd always ask you to just get it for a brief 3 or 4 months.
Right.
And
so you could hear it.
So I could hear about fantasy football for my teams, right?
Right.
But then somebody told me, like, you can listen to that on Apple Podcast, right? So it's now it's got my wheels turning. Can you get Apple Podcast on a Samsung? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know.
But like, who has a Samsung still?
I mean, I hope you're not talking crap about people who have Samsungs. That's their choice.
I'm just wondering for Apple Podcasts
That
if
is
you
their
could, well, I guess they
choice.
could listen to it on Spotify if they have a Samsung.
Yes. You're
Just
so
curious.
so you just wanted to throw a jab in there. I mean, he likes to jab me, so now he's jabbing all the Samsung owners. What's up with that?
Just we have one guy. We have one guy in our fantasy league. Just no, 2 people that have a Samsung. So when you do this group chat, right?
They're not in it.
It's weird. Like, yeah, you have to do a separate chat for them. It's you can't do a chat actually. I think I don't know how they do it, how you add those people in, but anyhow, I was thinking about that when I saw the Apple Podcast. I was like, I wonder if these Samsung people are going to be able to find that there.
Well, we're on Spotify and we're also on YouTube as well, so they could always watch it on YouTube. So, well, speaking of staying tuned, our spring client appreciation event is nearly 2 weeks away. If you haven't RSVP'd, time is running out. So make sure you RSVP and we get you on our VIP list. Reach out to us. We'd love to see you there. And if you have, for some reason, not received the invite, let us know because we'll send it right over and then you can RSVP through the invitation. So, do you want to talk about the event or?
A little bit, but I want to talk about people are going to start getting the direct emails from, text messages from me because I'm usually really good about that.
Right.
And we've been so busy, I've maybe texted like a few people.
Right.
Right. And it reminds people because sometimes people don't see it for whatever reason or they
on their
forgot
email
about it.
or their text, they open it and they forgot about it and didn't set themselves a reminder. So I'll make sure that we'll be reaching out again to everyone very soon. And for those of you who don't know, and as a fresh reminder, our client appreciation event will be held on April 28th. It's a Friday at Brewery Jaconum at 6 p.m. We're going to have lots of yummy food, drinks, and it's a 90s theme. So you better believe we're going to have the 90s jams there. We're going to have DJ Choice One, as always, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a photo booth. There's going to be dancing and just an overall great time. So make sure that you try to come because you're going to be missing out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And if you're intimidated by like having to dress up in 90s theme, you don't have to dress up 90s theme.
No.
You can go there and just laugh at everybody that does, like ourselves. I don't even know what we're going to wear because Corey just is treating me like her son. She's going to dress me that day because I don't really have 90s stuff. I thought I did have some 90s stuff. Maybe in the boxes in the garage, I might have some 90s stuff. I don't know. But we were having some funny discussions of like, is that 90s or is that 80s?
Right.
So I brought up like a fanny pack, right? And it's funny because I always thought people looked ridiculous in fanny packs, especially men.
Right.
Right. But I find myself always wanting one now, right? Like, so we go to Disneyland, I want to wear the fanny pack.
He stole my fanny pack.
Yeah, because I don't want to, because I've lost stuff in my pockets, right?
Right.
Because like some pockets aren't that deep.
Wait, you lost something?
Anyhow, so some pockets aren't that deep, so stuff will just come right out.
Right.
So the fanny pack is the way to go.
Game changer.
Game changer, especially now that we don't have the stroller.
Yeah.
Put all my little important stuff in the fanny pack, right? And then I actually, which we'll talk about later on the show, I actually went to the gym and I don't want to carry a big backpack for a towel and a phone. Doesn't make sense, right?
Where's your fanny pack?
Well, yes, I'm holding my phone. I'm worried that I'm going to leave my phone somewhere, right? So fanny pack. I need that fanny pack. So speaking of fanny packs, is fanny packs a thing of the 80s or is fanny packs a thing of the 90s?
It's a thing of the...
What does everybody else think? I want to hear what other people think.
Yeah, I want to hear what people think too, but I know what it was.
What was it?
I mean, it was the 90s, but they made a huge comeback. So, like, now it's a thing again.
Is it really a thing
normal.
right now?
Oh, yeah. Some people just wear it, like, as a crossbody instead.
Okay.
Fanny pack or crossbody, whatever they like. Yeah. Lululemon, like, really launched it. Like, there's so many different colors now. So, yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
I'm super late to the party with, like, fashion trends. I don't really do
I
fashion
mean, I'm not
trends.
claiming to be a trendy person or, you know about fashion, but yeah, I see them all over the place.
For me, it's all necessity now. It's all necessity. Like, I only get things because I find that I need them. It's not because it's a fashion trend. Like, fanny packs, who knew how great they are? I had no idea.
Just don't be getting those court classics.
Girl, if they feel right on my feet, I'll never take them off.
Hey, were those Hammer Time pants 90s or 80s?
That's
just curious.
Another question. I would venture to say 90s.
I think so too.
Because MC Hammer was big in the early 90s, wasn't he?
He what? Or was it 80s? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Like, I didn't follow.
Oh, man.
I didn't follow that kind of stuff. When I mean that kind of stuff, I mean like anything outside of cartoons.
You weren't into it.
I wasn't into it until like the 90s.
Yeah. Soul's here with us. Hey, Soul. Thanks for joining us. She said it's the 90s.
I think Soul would know. Soul's kind of like a fashionista, right? Like, she would know this stuff.
No, she knew the 90s for MC Hammer, the Hammer Time pants.
That's what I'm saying. She was probably rocking those Hammer Time pants in the 90s.
Oh, Soul, you better bust those out for the party. I want to see you wearing those. She would totally rock those too. Some bright ones. I know my dad used to rock those.
He still might rock them. I remember we used to go out on the boat.
He loved MC Hammer, my dad.
We used to go on the boat and he'd have those Hammer Times on, like on a houseboat. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it gets like really good airflow through the legs and stuff.
Okay.
I never had any. I don't know.
You know you wanted them. Maybe that's what you need to wear to the party.
I'll wear it, girl.
I will get you some Hammer Times. That would be awesome. I love it. I love it. So catching up with the Silvas. Oh, it looks like Soul said, oh, yeah, baby. She's going to rock them. She's probably going to have some big old hoop earrings, too.
You got to wear the hoop earrings. Ladies, please. Like, that's what I remember, the hoop earrings. And I remember the overalls. Because I used to rock them. I had like a couple pair of overalls.
Oh, yeah, overalls.
And I would wear just the one down.
One down, yeah.
One strap down. Why? I don't know. I never did the crisscross, like, wear my clothes
backwards.
Opposite. That was silly.
Weird.
Like, what if you got to use the bathroom?
I know. You got
I'm not trying to do all that. Got to unbutton from the back? That doesn't make any sense.
They were big pants. You didn't have to unbutton them. You just slid them down.
I guess. Yeah, I didn't wear big pants till like junior high. I mean, till high school. I didn't really wear big pants in junior high. They were big in junior high, though. That's when cross colors came out.
Yes, I remember that.
Like, I couldn't afford none of that stuff.
No, I couldn't either.
Cross colors were like $70 for a pair of pants.
Did you know that a lot of people, like in my junior high, there would be like one or two who had cross colors, and then they'd just like let everybody, all their friends borrow them. Oh, you can wear them this day. Oh, okay, thank you.
Really?
Yeah, I had a friend let me borrow her Jenko pants.
Jenkos
Do you remember Jenkos?
Yeah, they weren't expensive.
Well, I couldn't afford them.
What do you mean? That's like the hood stuff. Like, I used to wear Jenkos because they were cheap.
Well, maybe it weren't Jenkos. Maybe they were the cross
Jenkos,
colors.
Ben Davis, like all this stuff, like was dirt cheap.
Oh no, then maybe it was a cross
Solos.
colors.
Who knows about the solo pants?
I don't know.
All right, so
all right, Chris is getting all
hold
nostalgic
on.
now.
Now I'm thinking about this stuff, right?
So now you're gonna go get those pants.
No, I can't dress like that no more. I might get pulled over again. Just
For one night.
Just walking down the street.
You're gonna walk up to Brewery Jacona and you're gonna be handcuffed.
Handcuffed. Walk up in handcuffs. I used to wear.
You're like, I'm back in the '90s. Thank you.
So, you know, I used to basically be dirt poor, right?
Right.
And I left Santa Clarita when I was out here for a little bit, moved back in with into a motel, and I had like the clothes on my back.
Right.
So my friends who were, for whatever reason, my friends are a lot of big guys. Like they all played like offensive and defensive line in football, right?
Right.
And so like Joe gave me a pair of pants, and somebody else gave me maybe Mike gave me a pair of pants mix, and I had these pair of pants like size 50s.
Holy moly!
I was
what?
like 145 pounds wet.
You were skinny.
Right, I was skinny. They had these
big old
humongous
pants.
So I wear these big pants, and then remember the little pins? You put the pins through your pants
So you
into your
wouldn't
white shoes.
You wouldn't trip on your shoes.
Now I wasn't a
Or
gangster. I
your
wasn't a
pants.
gangster because only the gangsters would wear the Cortez. I didn't wear Cortez because I wasn't a gangster. That's how you knew the difference. You know, but I'd have like white Air Force Ones,
Right.
or Fila's, or remember those cool Reeboks that were like the black. I need to get some of these.
Adidas.
I need a pair of these shoes for the event. I haven't even tried to look yet.
Chris got real nostalgic now. He's taking it back.
It was weird because I want to say high school was the hardest time in my life,
Right.
but it was like some of the best memories too. Like, whatever, it's part of life, right?
That's right. It's all how you deal with it.
All how you deal with it. Luckily, I had you by my side.
You are so lucky.
I tell myself every day, baby.
Every day you count your lucky stars.
I sure do.
Oh, good.
How often do I tell you and the kids how lucky I am to have you? At least 3 or 4 times
Feel
a day.
the same way.
Got to verbalize it. I tell you all the time, right?
I know. I appreciate you. So, catching up with the Silvas. Last week was spring break for the kids, and the kids were a little sad on Thursday. You know, they spent the whole week with their cousins at their grandma and papa's house, and Thursday their cousins ended up going to Disneyland. So they were really sad when they got dropped off because they didn't get to play with them, right? But that's okay because grandma knows how to spoil these kids.
She spoils them so much.
She took them to the park. She took them to Mr. DeVar's to get some homemade cookies and ice cream. Man, these kids got spoiled by their grandma. They're so lucky.
You know,
They
my
live the
little
best
light bulb
life.
just went off. We needed maybe highlight Mr. DeVar
Yes.
because our kids love that place.
Yes.
Grandma loves that place. We'll talk about that after the show
For sure. We'll have to reach out to him.
because he makes his own ice cream and cookies, right?
Yeah, and he's located right here in Canyon Country on
It's probably right
Silva.
down the street. Hop, skip, and a jump.
He is right down the street from here.
Okay,
So
okay.
we'll have to reach out to them, get the connection from Mama. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, after they were done there, we spent the rest of our spring break doing other fun things because, you know, we started it off with Disney. Then we're all into puzzles and perler beads. Who else is into puzzles and perler beads? Is it just the age that our kids are in right now? They love puzzles. Probably because you love puzzles. I love puzzles.
Right.
But then we're working on this one perler bead thing. For those of you who don't know what perler beads are, they're these little plastic beads, and you put them like on this like plastic, I don't know, tray, and you make designs with them. Well, usually they're what? Maybe like 100, 200 beads.
Most of the time, the kids could do it on their own.
Yeah, they could do it on their own. Well, why did Santino pick out this tiger pattern? It's like
It's
this.
about as big as your face.
The tray is like this big. 3,300 perler beads.
Yeah. See, I haven't caught the perler bead
Bug?
bug at all.
Yeah. You're just not
I've
into
never
it.
worked on one of them.
It's more like artsy, right? But I feel like with this 3,300 one, it's similar to a puzzle because you have to look and see each color pattern to make it this big, beautiful picture, right? This thing has been in our house since
For too long, girl.
way too long. Santino tried to do it for me for my birthday, which was back in December. And it's just been hanging out, getting knocked over, having to restart. We've restarted it 3 times. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, we are getting this done. It has to be done. I don't want it
Yeah, that's on you
sitting in my house anymore. So we probably have like maybe 500 more beads to put on there.
You
and
need
it's
to
gonna
iron
be
it
done.
too, right?
Then you have to iron it. So we're going to have to showcase it on the next show and show you how beautiful it came out because it's been a labor of love. The kids and I have been working on it.
I don't think it's going to be done by the next show. I'm just being real.
It probably isn't. Maybe 2 weeks.
You know what we should start posting? Maybe like once a week or something. These puzzles that the kids have done.
Oh, yes.
Because we do a lot of puzzles. I mean, we were already into puzzles, and then, you know, the lockdown happened.
Yes.
And when the COVID lockdown happened, puzzles really got us through some of these days.
Right.
I mean, it's not like we're there all day, but it's a fun activity that you could do as a family.
Mm-hmm.
You're indoors, right? Like it just worked out that way.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing them. It's such a good stress relief for me.
Yeah. Chris loves it.
And I do it with the kids. And I mean, we don't touch a puzzle unless it's 500 pieces, right?
Right.
And
It's good bonding.
it's great bonding. And we do this thing so every piece that you put together, it doesn't matter who you are, if it's the kids or myself or Corey, you have to give a high five to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids love the high fives. Like I'll be in the other room and they run up, they just put one piece together.
Give
and
me a
that
high five.
it's a high five. We're getting 500 high fives. That's 1,500 high fives or 2,000 high fives because everybody has to give one.
Yes.
Like it's just such great energy because of the
Yes.
puzzles, right? So I love them. So
I think it brings good energy to our family too, like on family dinners and stuff like that, because the puzzles stay out on the dinner table. And now we've figured out a way that we don't have to put it away. We'll just put a tablecloth over the puzzle and eat on top of the puzzle. But everyone in our family gets involved. Like my mom loves puzzles, Patrick, Christian, like they all get in on the puzzles.
Christian really liked puzzles. He
did
said it, but now he's doing them every single week that
Oh,
he's
that's
there.
so cool. I love that.
And, you know, we're going to definitely take puzzles with us this weekend.
Yes, it's going to be fun. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So this past week, Chris and I took some new professional photos. And on Thursday, we met at our office to take them with our producer, right? And we're putting some assets for the podcast together. So when we launch on Spotify and Apple Podcast, we'll have all these things. So was it fun getting silly in front of the camera?
Yes. So I'm smiling just thinking about it. You know, the last time we did something like this, we've only done it once, right? And we did it at our old 2 offices ago.
Right.
And the space was a lot smaller. We obviously didn't have the same setup that we have in
Right.
this place. And you know, we had the old outfits, right? Like the maybe the wardrobe was different. I don't think we had wardrobe changes.
No.
One thing the whole time. And it felt like work.
Right.
I mean, it's like a job. It's a job, right?
I still feel like that.
Yeah, but you
It's
know
a
what?
lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yes. But this one didn't feel like that to me. I actually had a good time. It was funny. Like we had a good time being silly with each other, and I enjoyed it. I mean, we're probably not going to do it for another couple of years, but I had a great time with it.
Well, yeah, you know, it's always fun when you get made fun of when it's time to take photos. Because I put this one dress on and I have Chris and the producer telling me I look like I'm a nun or something because it was way too conservative.
I didn't say you looked like a nut.
Or that I needed to have a cross on.
That's what I said. So it was a black dress. I was like, dang, girl, you should have a cross necklace on right now. It just looked like it fit.
They just love to make fun of me. It's like a real good energy booster.
He said that that black dress brought the Latina in you.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. And then, you know, the producer always gives me a hard time because every single time we do something like we take new photos or we do something or another, I'm always complaining about something because I'm very critical, right? And I'm like, oh, I should have got my makeup done, or oh, I should have done my hair, or I should have got my nails done. And so he told me, like, you better get your makeup and your hair done and your nails. And I'm like, listen, buddy, I got my hair and my makeup done, but I don't have time for my nails.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I have kids, I have a business to run, and I have a husband to feed. Like, there is way too much going on right now for me to worry about my nails getting done. Like, who has time for that? That's a real question. Who has time to go get their nails done and their hair and their makeup? Like, it's a lot. I don't know. I don't know how people do it. It's a lot.
People do it.
I don't know. I need to carve some more time out for myself. So I didn't have my nails done. They were a little grubby looking, but he's going to use some Photoshop for that.
It's funny too because he made the mistake of asking you, well, give me some options, and you start throwing out some colors I never even heard of before. He was like, what? What color do you want on your nails?
No, I said fuchsia, magenta, purple, lavender, lilac. Like, those are colors you never heard of?
I mean, I don't know if you put out 6 colors and you told me to pick out lilac or lavender. Well, maybe lavender I might figure it out, but lilac I wouldn't know.
It's lighter than lavender.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Well, you aren't the artist in the family, that's for sure.
So Photoshop might come to the rescue on this one.
Yes, I think so. So Chris is back at jiu-jitsu, right? And the gym. This guy, he goes full force. He goes from, man, I really need to get back to jiu-jitsu. I need to make some time for myself. And then he just hits that ground running. He is running.
I'm not running. I'm like dragging my leg.
I told him, like, okay, can you ease into it? Like, why don't you just start with 2 days first and then add it on? No. What you don't understand is if I don't go consistently, and I'm like, okay, you do you, boo. So he went to jiu-jitsu 3 times last week.
I don't remember.
And then he
think
also
twice.
went to the gym, LA Fitness. So
So
He was on fire.
well, here's the thing. It's not because I'm trying to like look a certain way or whatever.
You're trying to feel good.
Well, I'm trying to feel good, but if I make that choice to go to jujitsu, you can't go half-ass.
Right.
You're gonna get your ass whooped. And I got smashed on last Tuesday. It was not fun. I just got beat up for a whole hour and some change, right? It wasn't a good
Sorry,
time.
I'm laughing, but
It's fine. I mean, a lot of people don't do the sport because it's very humbling.
yes.
Who wants to get beat up?
I don't. That's
Right?
why I don't do it. I'm
So-
not trying to. I mean, the flip side is you could be kicking butt. Like, that's what you strive for. And that's the exciting part of that sport, right? I'm
Kinda.
not trying to get beat up.
It's not about kicking butt, right? It's about just learning the craft and getting better at it and mastering,
Yes.
like getting better and better every single time you go.
Of course.
But the thing is, I went on a Tuesday and got destroyed. And then on Thursday, I was so sore. I haven't been that sore since probably the first time I ever tried jujitsu.
Right.
Or like Hell Week in high school football. Like I felt like I got hit by a car.
Right.
And I went on Thursday. I dragged my butt over there.
No, how'd you get up, though?
Yeah, you made me go.
I told him, get up. You need to go.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to go.
I told him there's no excuses.
I was so sore there was no way I was going to go. But I went and I did better on Thursday than I did on Tuesday.
That's good.
And it's because you need to have that muscle memory. And if you forget a lot of things like I do, like I'm not a dancer, right? I feel like the people that are like good dancers or like these are the people that are going to be good in jujitsu, like that have that hand-eye coordination, or like superior athletes. I was never a superior athlete. Like I was okay, right? But I wasn't that great or anything.
Right.
So I have to try harder than everybody else. And I haven't been doing that. I just been showing up like twice a week or once every other week, right? There's no consistency. And now that I'm 42, I can't use that old man strength anymore. Like before, like I'm stronger than most people, but that doesn't mean a thing when you get tired in like 2 minutes.
Right.
That's what happened to me on Tuesday. I got burnt out so fast that when I'm fighting everybody, rolling with everybody else, I got no more energy left. So thus the gym, I'm like, I can't just go to jujitsu. I gotta do some stuff at the gym to strengthen
Right.
my legs, work on that core. I really need to get some cardio going. That's what I really needed. But I hate running.
Didn't you go on the treadmill on Friday?
I didn't run on it. I was walking at a swift pace
Oh, good.
uphill. I had an incline, but that's it. I don't like running. Plus my knees kind of bad.
Do your power walking.
But anyhow, we'll see.
So did you break the scale at home?
So I almost did. It's so funny. So check this out, guys. I weigh 190 pounds. Never weighed that in my life. It's the most I've ever weighed. You know, I shot a button off my pants. Like it's really tough getting these pants on now, keeping them on.
Right.
Right. I fit into them, no problem. But when you get that part where the button
You just
goes,
can't have lunch.
it's not good.
You gotta do that intermittent fasting.
And so Corey's been trying to make me feel good. She's like, I think something's off on that scale, babe. There's no way. There's
I'm
no
like,
way you
there's
weigh,
no way you
there's
weigh
no
that
way you weigh
much.
190. It just so we confirmed that the scale is correct.
We did not break it.
It's not broken.
Because, secretly I was hoping that wasn't true, that there was something wrong with the scale. Because when I'm stepping on it too, I'm like, it can't be. Maybe there is something wrong with it. I was in such denial. But then I got on the scale at Orange Theory. They offer this thing where they'll do your whole body mass and check the percentage of fat that you have.
In certain areas, right?
Yeah, compared to like your bones, like how much they weigh. And yeah, it confirmed that our scale is spot on.
Yeah, so
Got some work to do.
I'm probably, if I was trying to be like a, competing weight, like I'm trying to
Right.
fight in a tournament, I'd have to be at like a 165, which is 25 pounds ago, which I'm not trying to. My weight that I should be at is 170. I need
Okay.
to lose like 20 pounds. I'm actually down 3 pounds
Good job.
in a week.
Good job.
So like in 10 days. So I'm down to 187, got 17 to go, but I'm not like on a diet or anything. Like I had Portos yesterday.
So this is what happens. Hey, Lulu's here with us. Hi, Lulu.
Hey, Lulu.
Thanks for joining us. So, we're working on our fitness, right? But man, when you're in Northridge, sometimes you just got to stop by Portos. You got to just scratch that itch, right?
I was in Burbank.
Oh, you were in Burbank. I
So
thought you were
I've
in
been
Northridge.
I've been hitting Portos all over the world, right? So like I hit it in
I
Northridge.
automatically thought you were in Northridge.
I hit it in
but you're
Northridge a
Burbank.
couple weeks ago. I went to Burbank. I was showing property in Sherman Oaks and Burbank, which I got to post some of this stuff. I take the video and then I get so busy I forget to post. So I'll post them today.
No, it's challenging. It's challenging. But yeah, so back to Portos. we're trying to work on our fitness and take really good care of ourselves. But Chris is like, what do you want from Portos? How do you say no to Portos? Right?
That steak torta, so good.
And the guava pastry, so good.
The guava pastry. And then I got this new, how did Nola like that almond?
She liked it.
She liked it? Did she
Yeah.
eat it all?
Not all of it.
Okay.
She's so picky.
She's very picky.
Yeah.
She has like her go-to desserts.
Yes.
She doesn't like trying new desserts. Santino likes to try all the new stuff.
Oh, yeah. Give him all the sweets. He's happy.
He's all about it. We still got some of those potato balls, with the little meat inside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm about to grub those when I get home.
Chris
There's like
about to
4
get
left.
down on those. Oh, my goodness. So, we've been super busy this past week with all the play dates and spring break, trying to fit in everything to keep these kids entertained, right? I love making them happy and having
You
a
sure
good time.
do, because I mean, our kids live a pretty privileged life.
Right.
They're not spoiled. Like anybody that knows our kids, they're very well behaved,
Mm-hmm.
very respectful, right? But they are privileged.
I mean, we went and had this play date with Santino's best friend, Benji, and his family, the Parks. And I got to hang out with one of my favorite moms, Shanae. She's so funny. She's like such good energy. And she's the one who got me hooked on Orange Theory. So I have a lot to be thankful for, not only with her friendship, but with, motivating me and stuff.
Sure.
And I got the best compliment from Benji's dad. He said that Santino's such a sweet kid, So we got to hang out. Not only is it fun for them, but I get to have fun too. Hang out with people I like. That's so nice when you get to have a play date and you like people. You're not like toughing it out like just for the kids. Like you're having a good time,
Right. So we're going to talk about it later on the show about Ali Wong.
Yes.
About going to that. But she has a thing on one of these stand-ups I saw, and it's like, since when did our little toddlers, because remember, this play date thing started when the kids are like 2 years old, 3 years old, right?
Right.
Since when did toddlers start playing matchmakers?
What do you mean?
Like,
like the parents.
Yeah, and pairing me up with somebody I have nothing in common with. Right?
So true. How many parents out there can relate to that? Like you just hang around with somebody because your kids are friends. You know what I mean?
Well, think about it.
Thankfully, I don't have that issue. I like all the parents that I hang out with.
No,
my kids.
we're really good about it. I think we passed that stage a long time ago.
Yes.
But that's a real thing. Like just play back. If your kids are whatever age they are, play it back to when they're like 3, 4, 5 years old, right? Because you just start meeting people, sing, sign, and play. We met some people there.
Yes.
You just start meeting people in different places, right?
Right.
And then you get invited to a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of have to go.
Yeah.
Right? So then you start hanging out with people that you've never hung out with before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
kind of like a blind date.
It's kind of like a blind date that your kid sets
that
you
I've
up
never
on.
been on because I've never been on a blind date before.
That your kid sets you up on, because if it wasn't for our child, you would have never went on that blind date.
True.
Right? So, but then now they get into kindergarten and first grade,
and they have to get invited to the birthday party because it's not fair for the rest of the class. So everybody gets invited.
Everybody gets invited.
Oh yeah,
so
those ones. Those are fun.
But you're so excited that they've made a friend that you got to. If they ask for a play date, you got to try to make it happen.
Right.
Because they made a friend. It's such a big deal, right? Everybody wants their kid not to be bullied at school or not to be left alone. They want a good experience for their kids.
Right.
So thus now we go to all these play dates. Luckily, the play dates that you have set up, I enjoy everybody. Like I was sad that I didn't make it because I have a good time with Joe and Shanae.
Yeah.
But it's nice. I actually get along with the husband, right? Like it's a good time. It makes for a good time,
Yes. So we had a fun time. They played there, and after we had the play date, first I had Orange Theory in the morning, which is super early start. We had the play date at like 8:30 in the morning because we're like, let's just keep this party going, right? And then we had a jam-packed day. We went to go see Mario Brothers. So who else was able to go see the new Mario Brothers movie over the weekend or during spring break? We've heard that it's been breaking
box office records. I got you, boo. I'm right here with you.
Breaking box office records.
It's usually me the one that's stumbling on the
I know,
words.
man. I don't know what happened to me right there. I think I need some more coffee.
It's because you were thinking about that wine you had at that Super
Oh,
Mario
my
Brothers.
Lord. So everybody who goes to the movies, did you know that they serve wine and beer there? Because I was sitting there waiting for the movie to start, and Chris called me, and he was like, do you want some wine? I'm like, yeah. help me get through this movie. So he brings me my canned wine. Sitting there watching, Mario Brothers, feeling divine, having my canned wine. Do you know I fell asleep during that movie?
You know what's so funny is, all right, this goes
so
back.
relaxed.
This goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, right? About Santino being my little clone.
Right.
And look, I don't do it on purpose. I think I got stuck on a work call.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't make it to the movie till like right 2 minutes before it started.
Yes, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we walked in 2 minutes before the movie
We were
started.
waiting in the car for 15 minutes for him, chilling, like in the driveway.
You were literally downstairs in the driveway. And
we were
I was
in the driveway, like, come on, let's go.
I was like taking care of some like very important work stuff, right?
Right.
And I know we're going to be gone for like 3 hours where I'm not going to be on my phone.
Right.
So I had to take care of it. So then we get there. And of course, I'm the one who bought the tickets. I can't find the ticket online. Like I was trying to check my email, couldn't find it. I printed. I'm old school, so I print the tickets. I left it at home because we're running late.
Who else prints the Google directions? That's so Chris. He prints the tickets.
Me?
Like save it on your Apple Wallet, so then you could just scan it.
I know.
Don't you have the Regal app?
I don't know. If I do, I don't know the
Listen,
password.
I have the Regal app. I should just be in charge of booking things. I know how to pull the stuff up. We get there. I totally forgot about this fiasco. We're running late to the movie. He can't find his printed ticket. He doesn't have it in his email. How do you get in the movie theater without your printed ticket?
It's pretty cool, though. They could just look it up based off your credit card.
Well, yeah, and then he didn't have his dang credit card that he bought it on. It wasn't reading it on the machine. So he had to flag somebody down. Finally, we were able to get in.
It worked out. So
we ran in.
Thus, the IPA that I had and the can of wine that you had, it set everything right.
It's always an adventure, right? Always an adventure.
So I missed some of the movie at the beginning,
right?
And then I missed something in the middle because I had to refill the kids' popcorn.
Oh, see, I didn't even know you left. I must have been.
You must have been asleep. Oh my gosh!
I must have been asleep. Oh, it was a great movie. Yeah, no, I actually woke up because Nola was choking on popcorn. That's how I woke up. I was like, oh,
she was coughing. She was not choking. There's a difference. People that are going to be listening to the show on Spotify are like, she was choking. Oh my gosh, she was coughing. She needed to drink some water. She was okay.
A little bit of it got stuck in her throat. Oh my goodness. So, Santino and Nola had another play date, right? So we had another play date with their little besties, Kais and Zaya. And how sweet is it that Beth set up a whole little mini egg hunt as soon as we arrived? We got there and they're like, let's go find eggs. So they're running around looking for eggs everywhere. It was so cute. And it wasn't even Easter.
Oh, that's really thoughtful.
She
that's
had a
sweet.
nice little setup for them. So the kids were super excited. And, it's funny because I think sometimes as parents, we want to like go all out and like take them somewhere or like, oh, do you want to go here? You want to go to the park? You want to go to this place? And Beth's like, well, where should we go? And I'm like, well, do you mind if we just come to your house?
You totally invited yourself to your house.
I said, you know what? I'm so sorry I'm inviting myself, but can we come to your house? Because Santino was FaceTiming with Kais the day before. And I think he saw some type of toys he wanted to play with in his playroom. And then he also saw that as a pet lizard. He didn't know he had a pet lizard.
Right.
And so I was like, I really want to see that pet lizard. Can you just please ask Tia Bethy if we could go to her house? We don't care about anything else. We just want to play there. I'm like, yes. So I told her, I'm really sorry. Don't worry about like cleaning your house. There's no set expectations. Just can we come to your house and chill? She's like, yes, you can. So it was a lot of fun. Like they just hanging out, checking out this lizard, and this lizard laid an egg. I was like, what? That's so crazy.
Did you see the lizard?
I didn't see it laying the egg, but it had already laid an egg.
How big are they?
The eggs?
Yeah.
They're like this little.
Okay.
Like a little Cadbury egg.
That's cute. So what do they do with the eggs?
Well, something needs to fertilize it, but
I'm saying, are they going to incubate the egg and?
No, it needs to have a male to, make sure that the egg will be fertilized and it'll grow.
I don't know
I didn't know that either. I was actually schooled myself.
Yeah, I have no idea how that works, and we'll never know because we're never going to have a lizard.
So when we came home, Chris was like, "Listen, don't ask me for a lizard because you're not getting a lizard."
No. We're not. We will never be that household that has like dogs and cats and lizards and fish.
No,
we're a one dog family.
Okay,
we're not even getting a second dog. One dog.
A year from now, we have a second dog.
We're not. You know how expensive our dog
I
is?
know.
Yeah,
Challenging.
no way.
Yes, no. So this past weekend, we also had our family dinner, which for those of you who are just joining us, we have a weekly family dinner every Saturday. And we had such a good time, like always. But man, we play games. And Jocelyn's always ready, like, well, let's play a game. What are we going to play today? Do you want to play Phase 10? Do you want to play Five Alive? Should we do Scrabble? And this girl has come such a long way. Because do you remember the first time we played Scrabble? She would come out with like these 3-letter words, and we had to make a rule. Like, to start off, you have to have at least 4 letters, Jocelyn. We can't start a whole game with just 3-letter words, right?
Is it a 4-letter at the beginning or 5? I think it's 5. Or no, 4, right?
It's 4.
It's 4.
Yeah. So Jocelyn, she has really sharpened the tools for her Scrabble game because, wow, she came out and killed us. Her first place, she got 75 points. 75 points.
She got rid of all her
all
letters,
of her
right?
letters, yes. I was like, this girl.
I don't think I've ever gotten rid of all of my letters yet.
I think I've done it one time.
Just to correct it, she killed you and my brother because I didn't play. I just want to throw that out there. But
okay.
But you were right. She has come a long way. It's kind of like your cooking. Remember the pink chicken back in the day?
How do you always find a way to like bring up this pink chicken? When you won't even make chicken for somebody.
Because I'm not trying to make pink chicken.
Well, you should just make chicken, period.
Yeah, so it's the same thing though. It's like now you're like an amazing cook.
Yeah.
But you started off with pink chicken, and like Jocelyn's Scrabble play was terrible.
Right.
I mean, I was like, girl, that's not a word. That is not a word.
The best is when they like, your brother is like notorious for this. He'll just make up a word, but then he'll like convince himself that it's a word.
To try to convince you.
To convince everybody else. And why does sometimes it ends up being a word? And then I'm like, should I challenge him? Lose a turn? Do I want to do this? Oh,
well,
man.
It's strategic because think about it. You're not going to challenge somebody unless, if you're like playing for first place, you can't afford to lose a turn.
Right.
So you're not going to challenge them, right?
Right.
You're hoping somebody else will do it that has nothing to lose.
Yes.
Right? So it's funny, but yeah, he'll do that. He does that all the time because he knows nobody's going to challenge him.
I challenge him. I think sometimes if I'm like, well, whatever, somebody else is going to win. Let me just challenge this guy real quick.
I do that too. I'm only challenging if
you don't have a chance of winning.
If I don't have a chance of winning.
Or if you're in the lead.
If I'm in the lead, I'm trying to get somebody else to challenge him. You guys going to let that play? Come on.
Planting the seeds.
Yep.
That's so funny. Well, we had a good time playing Scrabble. She ended up beating us because she had a lot. She had the 10, like the Q. She had all the letters that had high scores on them.
Z's and X and all those?
she had those all on triple letter words. How did that happen?
She destroyed you then.
She did. She did really good.
I think she's in there doing Braille. She's like feeling for the letters.
I think so.
Inside. You should do a little 3 seconds to pick your letters.
I never even thought about that.
Be in there feeling all
Have
the
you
letters.
done that?
I don't need to do that. I just win.
Oh, wow. That idea came from somewhere. Ay. So Easter Sunday, we had brunch with family and held an Easter egg hunt with the kids. And I was thinking, I kind of dropped the ball this year. Every year I have like my whole set of things that I like hold on to. I'm a hoarder, Chris calls me, from the year before. Usually I'll get like really good deals the year before, and then I'll just be prepared for whatever holidays coming up. So get the Easter stuff down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I have to get the eggs that are already stuffed, because who has time to stuff eggs? Like, I don't have time for all that, right? Oh man, even last minute, like 2 days before Easter, I'm trying to scramble and find stuff. Why was I up till 2 o'clock in the morning stuffing these eggs for these kids?
Oh, so you had to stuff them.
Yeah. I like that you're just finding this out now. I was up till 2 a.m. yet. Like Easter has almost evolved into like a Christmas type thing. Like you have to have events for these kids. An egg hunt, the Easter bunny, like that's a whole experience for them. You need to create this magic for them. The Easter bunny is going to arrive, right? So the Easter bunny has to show up before I have other things to do, right? And so the kids can't go in the backyard. So that's a whole thing, right? So Mommy's up doing all this stuff till 2 a.m. and then 6 a.m. getting everything hid. And then Daddy was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? I'm like, listen, just go get those kids ready. These eggs are going to be hidden, and when they come down, they'll see the eggs. So, yeah, that's what happened.
I mean,
I made magic happen.
You made magic happen. But you wouldn't have had to stay up till 2 a.m. if you would just ordered those eggs when you were supposed to order those eggs.
No, see, here's the thing. I've come to find out that those stuffed eggs just have a bunch of crap candies that the kids don't even want anyways. So why pay for that when you could stuff it with something that they may enjoy? So, yeah, we had prizes. Numbers, prizes. Yeah, it was so much fun. They had a good time, don't you think?
They had a great time. And thank goodness for our motorized shades because they could be down, the kids could be there, and the Easter Bunny could come and hide all those eggs.
Very discreetly.
Very
good
discreetly.
job, Easter egg. Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny.
Good job, Easter Bunny.
So, yeah, those shades came in handy for sure.
Yes. So kids had a lot of fun. Their cousins came over. They had an Easter egg hunt, and everyone was happy.
It was a small get together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was only your brother, wife, kids, us, kids, and then your mom and dad. That was it.
Grandma and Grandpa. Yep. And Grandma said, good prizes. Thanks, Grandma. Yeah, so we had some prizes. And as the kids opened up the eggs with their numbers, they got to pick prizes. I think that was fun to add that in there. Got to try to.
It almost looked
creative
rigged.
with
It almost looked rigged because
all the eggs he got were numbers.
It was all Santino's.
Oh my goodness.
He was lucky.
Well,
Lucky
Julia
guy.
made a comment. Hi, Julia. Thanks for joining us. And thank you too, Mom, for joining us. Julia said speed Scrabble. What's speed Scrabble? No, I'm already stressed out enough with that little timer.
There's no. I mean, you girls already cheat.
Ugh.
So like with speed Scrabble, like then you turn the husbands into the bad guys when. If you just went when your turn was when you were supposed to during your allocated time, we wouldn't have a problem. It's
All the
probably
things
why I
that
don't
are
even
coming
play.
out of your mouth right now are just such nonsense. Like, I don't even understand what you're saying.
So
we cheat.
There is a
We
timer.
take too long.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
There is a timer.
I love how he just makes up lies.
So listen.
Stories.
Listen. If you don't follow the rules, what would you call that?
I follow the rules.
I didn't ask.
I'm a rule follower.
That's not the question. If you don't follow rules, what is it called? Is it cheating?
Yeah, you're a rule breaker.
Okay. Well, if you break rules, what did you say that's cheating? If you break rules?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So there's a timer on Scrabble that you girls never follow.
Yes, we do. What are you talking about? Do you know how many turns I've lost?
Well, unless it must have got real cutthroat in the last couple of times that I haven't played because before you girls are always giving each other a pass. I'm like, I got to be the bad guy again over here to enforce the rules.
He's just making up stories.
This is true.
Must have been those IPAs you were having.
Oh boy,
Got
I
your
didn't
brain
play.
all messed up.
No. We'll remember next time. Maybe we'll film some of this.
Oh, okay.
Scrabble play.
Let's see. Okay, enough of the nonsense. So, Monday morning, the day after spring break, how many of you all had challenges getting up and going? Because Santino, he had those spring break blues. He did not want to get up out of the bed. He was like, spring break's over. I don't want to go to school. I wish spring break was like summer break and summer break was 6 months.
He's so funny.
This kid did not want to get up. Who else had a challenge?
You would think he's a terrible student because he's like he'd rather be home. He does not want to go to school, but he's a great student.
Yes, just getting up in the morning. I think
But you know what?
He wakes up fine usually.
He just likes to take his time.
Yes.
But he's happy when he wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
He just he's
Giggling.
cold and just want to get out of the blankets, and he likes to take his time.
Oh well, I didn't have any spring break blues that day. Monday morning, 4 a.m. I was up. I went to Orange Theory, and there's a huge plus there right now. They got new treadmills, which is awesome. You could like track everything you're doing on these treadmills. They're a little bit more high tech than what they had before. But when they brought in these treadmills, they moved everything around, all the gym equipment around, and then put it back. So when they put the rowers back, there's like no room in between each rower. So why, when I'm rowing, I have this big sweaty guy next to me elbowing me each time? I was like, what is going on?
Maybe he's trying to get your attention. He was trying to give you like, hey, one of these.
I don't get it. Like, it's way too close. So Orange
Is there an
Theory, if
extra
you're
rower?
watching, can you please fix the rowers?
Is
like
there an
space
extra?
them a little bit.
Is there an extra one now?
No.
It's the same amount of rows.
Yeah.
Maybe like they're slightly wider than the last ones.
No, they're the same exact rowers.
They just didn't put them back in the right place.
No.
So now you're rubbing elbows with people every single Monday and Friday.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, girl. 2 birds with 1 stone. Work on your fitness and rub elbows with people.
It's not that kind of rubbing elbows. Oh my goodness. So how many of you all are watching American Idol? Because the kids love it. They're so into that show. They can't wait to see it. And right now they're in competition. What do they call it? Cutthroat? No, that's something else.
They finished the auditions.
Uh-huh.
They did the duets.
Now they're doing, what's it called?
Now they're I don't know what it's called, but they're going down. They're cutting it down to the top 24.
Top 24. Yes. So our kids, they're so into it. They're either lip syncing along with the contestants. They're dancing, like really getting down.
They get down too, yeah.
Or they're making fun of the contestants. And Tino's telling them to like be quiet or like use whatever song they're singing, those words to like tell them to be quiet. Like he can't deal with them.
He is definitely like a Simon Cowell.
He is.
He is heckling them big time.
Oh my goodness, yes. So he does love that show.
So it was a big thing of like Katy Perry arguing with one of the moms there, right? But I don't think it was a big deal on the show. How did the kids feel about that? Did they even notice it happening?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so people try to. I don't know if it's American Idol bringing this stuff.
There was
up.
a mom of one of the contestants, or the contestant who was a mom.
No, there was a mom that wanted to quit. Remember the redhead?
Oh yes.
I think she sang. What did she? She sang the.
Oh, she has curly hair.
Yeah, but what's that? And she has like a nose piercing and glasses.
I don't know what song she sang. I already forgot.
She was forgettable.
But I'm like, why are you going to leave when you have that opportunity?
Well, she was right. She was right. She said, I miss my babies and I'm going to leave because I'm not going to win the show anyway. She's not going to win. She would have made the top 24.
Well, that's priorities. Her family is important to her. So she wanted to go home, and that's fine.
I think
I don't even know why it was a big deal.
Yeah, they blew it out of proportion because Katy Perry
I think it's like clickbait. Like
it's clickbait.
They have like these things that they make issues about, and it's a non-issue. Like she wants to be with her kids, then go home, be with your kids.
Right. Well, Katy Perry had said something about her being on her back a lot because she had 3 kids.
Oh gosh, I didn't even catch that.
But she was trying to be funny because she obviously has a kid too, and they were actually clicking because they had a kid, right? They had that in common.
Right.
But the girl, it'd be different if the girl was actually really good.
Right.
If she was really good and then she went home, like, oh, then it's controversy. But she wasn't that good.
Yeah, it's all good. See, why are we even talking about her then? Yeah. Well, my mom said it was great this week because my mom is an avid, American Idol watcher. Right. She loves that show. So is my dad. And she said next week is Aulani, when they get to go to Aulani.
So no spoilers out there, guys, because we are behind. So we have Hulu, so we watch it a day later.
Right.
So the show is live on Sundays and Mondays. So we try to watch it Monday and Tuesday, but we still haven't finished Sunday show yet.
Right. So we need to catch up and see what's going on, who the top 24 are.
Right. So we just finished the Burger Flipper. This kid,
I love how you have like we don't know their names.
I don't know his name yet.
Now know how to describe them.
Well, he's the Burger Flipper, right? So he's a 19-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. He's the father of 3. Mm-hmm. He has 3 stepkids. He's already married with 3 stepkids at 19. It's a lot of pressure.
Stand-up guy.
Oh, I don't know him, but I love his personality.
Yeah, he's funny.
Well,
he's very outgoing and like he dances. You could tell he's very confident in himself.
He was kind of a gimmick, I thought at first during the audition. I was like, oh, this is a gimmick guy. He's going to go home. But no, he's talented.
He's good.
He's good.
He's the one who the kids won't let us forget. How does he not know the lyrics to I'm Still Standing? Like everybody knows the lyrics to that song. Even our kids know the lyrics to that song.
The kids looked at him like he was dumb.
Because they wanted him to go home because he didn't know the words.
Yes. If it was up to Santino, he would have went home for sure. Now, one of my favorites, and I didn't get to see if he made the top 24 or not. But it's the Hawaiian kid.
Yes.
That got priced out of paradise. I learned that term because of him.
Right.
And is now living, I think, in Seattle. Mm-hmm. He's a big guy with a guitar.
He has this guitar. Yeah.
And
he's so good.
Before his audition, 2 months before his audition, his dad died.
Oh, that's
and his dad's the one that taught him music and
Right. So he's
gave him
very
the love.
emotional,
Yeah, very emotional kid.
understandably.
But he's my favorite.
Hmm.
You know, and I think every year we find one of these contestants that
That you just like latch on to, that you're really rooting for.
that you're really rooting for. You
Right.
know, so I'm hoping he makes the top 24. But he's one of the kids' favorites too.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's if it's because of the story or they just like his singing. I don't know. I'm gonna ask them when we watch
Yeah,
the
we
show
should
today.
ask them. So, yes, love that show. So, last night I had the opportunity to go to the Book and Wine Club. Thank you, Julia. If you're still here on the show, Julia hosted it at her house last night. And what a great hostess she is, and her home is beautiful. So, thank you for inviting me. We all had lots of yummy snacks and dinner, and I had the chance to make one of my charcuterie boards. So, it was fun. Had some wine and talked about a book that, the last meeting I didn't get to go to, and I bought the book, but life. I didn't get a chance to read it. I wasn't even going to try to front like, oh yeah, this one quote was very profound. No, I didn't have time to read it, but I really wanted to get with all these other wonderful women and spend some time with them and just feed off of their energy. So that's what I did. And I wasn't alone. There was like two other ladies who didn't get a chance to read all of the book either. We kind of had like a little bit of a gap in between our last meeting, but it was good to get together with them and just catch up.
How many ladies were there roughly?
6. There were 6
So
of us.
half of you didn't read the book.
Yeah. Oh, Julia said it was so fun. The charcuterie was so gourmet. You're an amazing chef. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't call that chef.
Wait,
but
did you have the fancy salami?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your fancy salami? What do you do with it?
What do you mean fancy salon? Oh, no, I didn't make roses with it.
Oh,
No.
that would have wowed people.
I mean, I pretty much wowed them, but yeah, that would have been way over the top.
I mean, I was wowed the first time I saw your salami roses. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Like, whoa.
Pinterest. Go
I
to
didn't
Pinterest.
I didn't even know if I should eat it or not. I'm like,
And it's
I
all
don't know.
purty.
It was purty. I want some cheese and crackers and salami when I get home with some wine. Maybe when we watch American Idol tonight.
There you go. Yes.
Since when did I just start turning into a wino?
I don't know.
It's weird because
You old.
yeah, I never drank wine before.
No.
The only time I drink wine is if you wanted to have a glass. I'm like,
Now this guy's the one like, who, you want some wine tonight? I'm like, oh, whoa, no. I work too hard at that gym.
yeah, it was
I
usually
can't.
you asking me, I'm gonna have a glass. You want to have a glass with me? I'm like, sure.
Yes.
But now it's way the other way around, right?
Right.
Yep.
Well, Julia said the book is a front for girls' night. Pretty much. That's what it was last night.
Right.
It was cool to get together with them. And we had a new member join us last night. Her name is Lori. And it's pretty much people who are like in the real estate industry. So whether they're a realtor, loan officer, or title person, we all get together and hang out. So all good
Nice.
vibes.
So did you have wine as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if my
What
wine.
kind of question is that?
I'm just
Julia had her fine china out too. I felt all fancy drinking out of her china.
There you
It was
go.
so nice.
well, no, because you were talking about, hey, you don't want to mess up your temple, that you've been working so hard on.
I
at
mean,
Orangetheory.
I have to reward the temple too every now and then.
Now I wonder, was it Solving that got me on this kick, or was it prior to that?
Maybe. I think it was before that. I don't know. You a wino now.
It's not like every night, but
It
I
wasn't Solving. We went to Paso, remember?
went to Paso before we went to Solving.
Yes. That's probably where it
I'm
all
a Solving
happened.
fan. It's a lot closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so nice. It's fun. So Julia said you've got to celebrate life, and that's very accurate.
Every single night at 6:00
Okay, that's enough. That's
with dinner.
That's a little bit too much, but yes. On occasion, in moderation.
If you have a wine budget, then you know you drink too much.
You have a wine budget?
No, but if I
Oh.
get there, then it's a problem.
Oh, yeah. So, switching things up to real estate, Chris normally goes to the elite meeting every Wednesday before the show. Unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to make it there today, and it was because you were on the phone with one of our clients, right?
Yes. So sometimes that happens. It is what it is. It's what we do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that at Elite they'll understand that. But I was on a call. I got on that call, unfortunately, before I got in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
So it just set me back.
Yes.
There's no way I would have made it in time to Elite meeting.
Right.
But we have a lot of calls out there of people that are starting to think about selling.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to fruition, it does. But I think what I tell everybody is, if you're going to sell, we don't know. This market has been a roller coaster ride.
It's been very interesting, to say the least.
It's really hard to tell you what's going to happen. We don't
It's
know.
like Katy Perry. It's hot, then it's cold. It's
was
yes,
like-
then it's no. Like the market's like, it was cooling off during the holidays. It was super hot before then. And it's like, now it's getting hot again. I don't know. But then you said that you're starting to see things in some areas kind of slow a bit.
A little bit. I really wanted to go to Elite today, but I call everybody to find out too.
Right.
You know, like how I call escrow, title, like, hey, how many orders did you guys open? Like to kind of get a feel how the market's doing in different areas as well.
Right.
But yeah, it's such a strange market because we don't know. It was only out for like 2 weeks, but I think people knew about it for like 10 days. This California Dream loan, but that was $300 million that was infused to the real estate market.
Right.
You know what I mean? So did that cause some of it to
This
be
hype?
so the hype and for it to be so busy? I mean, everybody knows anything about real estate that we have very low inventory. Okay, so that's a common problem. You know, it kind of is what it is, and it's really hard for sellers that used to buyers that used to sell their property and then buy that next house
Right.
to want to let go of their house that has a 3% interest rate when they're going to go
Yes.
get a 6.5. You know, so that's another part of the. They're still buying houses. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But now they're not selling their old one.
Yes.
So that's even less inventory. You know what I mean? I read something. Oh, what is Soul talking about? She said, "Is the California Dream program over?" Soul, it is over already.
The money ran out on Friday. Can you believe it?
It ran out like in 10 days. $300 million.
$300 million.
Which we talked about in the last show. It came out to probably anywhere between 2,400 to 2,600 people, buyers.
Right.
Right. So that money was gone.
And I'm not really sure if that means that the loans actually funded or if the funds were just reserved. So I'm really interested in finding out the answer to that. I'm wondering if they are going to come out with another program. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think any other programs are coming out this year.
Right.
It's just my opinion. We had a big budget surplus last year in the state of California. This was a state of California program.
Right.
It wasn't a federal program, right? So, and now we're going to have a deficit at the end of the year.
So who knows? Probably
So
not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Christian Lazor is with us. So Christian's a title rep out here. Hey,
Christian. Thanks for joining us. And he said that the uptick in business is being felt for sure. Real estate season, the coming soon inventory was strong today. I've been seeing a lot more coming soon in the areas that we're looking to. New inventory.
Stevenson Ranch, yes.
Yes.
So,
Don't go buying those homes up. I mean, give me a chance.
so we'll see what happens, right? But look, every spring and summer, like that's our bread and butter as real estate agents in the industry and loan officers. That's where you make the majority of your income for the year is in
Right.
the spring and the summertime.
Yeah, that's when it's the hottest.
Oh, it's when it's the hottest. So I expect it to be busy. But after the summer runs out, who knows, right?
Right.
Because it always gets slower at the end of fall, beginning of winter. So we'll see what happens. But for this year, for us specifically, like it got busy faster than it usually does.
Right, right.
You know, and we're still busy. So we'll see what happens. I would tell sellers though, get your house on the market now or no later than the summertime if you want the most money for your house.
For sure.
Now, if they're waiting for whatever reason, like the timing of their place, and they're like, no, I want to just sell my place and buy this next place and it's not going to be ready till December, you can always sell your place sooner and rent temporarily.
That's true.
Keep your stuff in pods, in a storage, and then rent something that's already furnished.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out there for
There's
you.
a lot of options.
And everybody's situation's a little different. So, I mean, if you have any questions about stuff like that, we're your resource. We could help you come up with a game plan. So we do have a few new listings that have hit the market and some that are up and coming. So Rena has a new listing in Palmdale. We don't have the exact specifics of it, but did you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's a great starter home. It's a pretty good home. It's a size of like 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-story with a loft, right? It's laminate flooring throughout, so it's really low maintenance.
Okay.
Let's see here, hardscape. It's what do they call it? Desertscape in the front
Okay.
and the back. It's the desert. It's Lancaster or Palmdale.
Right.
So you're gonna have that, right? So really low cost to maintain the yard, but it's right under 500,000.
That's
Which is a
affordable.
great
Yes.
purchase price, especially for the west side of Palmdale.
Yes.
So that's not too far from the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one's coming up. She has another one she's working on in Chatsworth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be ready at the end of the month,
Awesome.
but
Can't
she's
wait to
getting
see
it
that
ready.
one. Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be awesome. And then it's where, so we have a lot of stuff that's up in the air
Mm-hmm.
that we just don't have concrete yet.
Right.
You know, like,
They're in the works.
yeah, there's like something in Silmar, and then I had the phone call was on today. It was like Corona,
Mm-hmm.
and then another one's coming up in Canoga Park. You know, so like there's a lot of stuff. I know there's a couple people that want to sell that are in Saugus off of Plum.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of like when they're ready. You know what I mean? We're having the
Yes.
conversations now, but they're ready when they're ready. I just give them the information. We give them the information,
Right.
right? So we'll see what happens. But I feel like it's going to be another busy year.
For sure. For sure. Well, Julia said the low inventory market is the best time to sell for top dollar, which is absolutely correct. So do it now before everybody else gets on the market during the frenzy of spring and summer, right?
Yes.
Well, this week we have a lot of fun things coming up. So I'm supposed to volunteer tomorrow in Nola's class, but it might get switched around due to some scheduling with a teacher and another parent. So hopefully I'll be in her class tomorrow. If not, that's okay. I could always go next week. And Chris and I and our whole family, well, not the whole family, but a portion of our family is going on a trip to Mammoth. And we're super excited about it because we've never been before. Right?
Right.
And so if anyone's been to Mammoth, let us know where we have to go. Some good spots to go to, great places to eat, anything that we have to see when we're there, because we're really excited. And, you know, when I originally planned this trip, it was one of those silent auctions, right? At a fundraiser. And so, yeah, I had wine when I was there. So that was probably the number one reason that I ended up deciding to put a bid on it. You know, I won the bid. I don't know if it was like a winning, I don't know if I really won, but I won the bid.
Now, did you feel like you won at the time? Like you were super excited when they called your number? Like you won? Were you?
Well, they didn't call my number. It was like, it's an auction. So they started the bidding. And then like I had one, and then this other lady across the room was, you know, going and bidding against me. And when I first saw it, it was like a trip for 10 to Mammoth. And I'm like, wow, like in your head, when you see that, it's like, okay, we're going to be in a cabin in Mammoth. But you always got to read the fine print when it comes to stuff like that, because it's not a cabin, which I found out afterwards. It's a condo for 10 people. It's going to be a little snug in there. Sleeps 10. Oh man, but like comfortably? Is it going to be comfortable? Am I going to be like stepping on people? So yeah, it's going to be really cozy. And I probably overpaid, but I'm just chalking it up to it went to a good cause, and it was a fundraiser.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm never drinking wine again at one of those events.
I mean, yeah, it's not a good idea.
The good thing is, the bright side of me doing this is in November, I had no clue. I thought for sure, oh, there's not going to be any more snow left in Mammoth. Like that's the end of the season. Is there, I was a little worried. Like, do you think it's going to even be fun? The whole reason that I booked it is so the kids could go have fun in the snow.
Right.
Because they've been begging to go to the snow. But wow, what a perfect time to book it, because there's like record snowfall this time. There's still lots of snow there, and it's going to be semi-warm when we go. So we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. The snow is like 2-story at some places. Like,
are you serious?
yeah, like let's say I saw somebody showed me a picture at drop off. I was picking up Santino, and I guess the driveway to pull into their place, the snow was twice as tall as their car on both sides. It looked like they were going in a tunnel.
Ooh, I'm a little scared about that.
There's nothing over the top. Well, so I asked, do we need to have chains there?
Yeah.
And they said no, because in Mammoth, they're really good about clearing all their streets.
Right.
So you don't need chains. And then they have a really good transit system there where you can call, there's bus stops everywhere, but you actually call for the bus when you get there. And then they'll come pick you up and they take you wherever you want for free, I think. I think you just tip.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool. See, I would have never known that.
Well, I learned that. And I learned that there is a brewery there, which I like craft beer. So I'll probably hit the brewery.
Right.
If we have time. I don't know if we're going to have time. I'm definitely know what I'm not doing.
What is that?
I'm not snowboarding. I'm not skiing. I'm gonna do the dad stuff. I'll build
Right.
a snowman. I'm gonna go sledding with the kids.
Yes.
That kind of stuff. Snowball fight.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. Some s'mores. We got to do some s'mores, like that cool stuff, you know.
Yes.
But all that camping stuff. It sounds like camping stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I want to go in a warm bed after. I do not want to be outdoors or
Yes. You don't want to go snowboarding or skiing, huh?
no.
I know, neither do I.
I have no desire.
Oh, so Dennis was asking me, so do you guys board or like do you ski? I'm like, no. I did that maybe 2 times in high school. I went snowboarding and my body hurt so bad then, and I was a teenager. Can you imagine now? I would be broken. My body would break. I can't afford to have a broken back or a broken leg or just, feel terrible. Like I don't want to do that. So he said, yeah, it's his last year of skiing because he said he's getting older.
And he's a skater.
Yeah.
And he's younger than us.
Or snowboarding, maybe he said.
No, he's talking about snowboarding, but
Yeah.
he was a skater his whole life. So like that's an easy transition, snowboarding and skating, if I didn't have a bum knee, I think I would try it because my brother snowboards and Jocelyn, right? Like I think I would do it. But with the bum knee, I can't do it.
Well, Soul said that Mammoth is so much fun, and she said that to ride the gondolas. So we're going to have to do that.
I'm not riding those things. I know I don't like heights. Why would I ride that? And especially if I'm not going down the mountain.
You'd be crying coming down. I'll videotape it.
The scariest ride at Disneyland for me, right? Because there's not scary rides at Disneyland, right? I think most people would be like Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the scariest thing they have.
Yeah, that one's scary.
California Adventure, I'm sorry. But no, it's that Ferris wheel. That thing is terrifying.
It's terrifying.
The one that slides back and forth
yes,
as
the
it's going in
moving one.
circles. Yeah, no thank you.
No, it's so scary.
And I have no problem telling our kids no. Like, so the girls can ride them, Corey.
Yeah, we'll go on the gondolas. Well, Dennis told me a good tip. He said, oh, you don't have to go snowboarding with your kids if you want them to learn. You could sign them up for classes and they will teach them, and you could sit on the side and just watch them do it. I'm like, good, because I don't know how to teach them to do any of that stuff. So if they want to learn how to snowboard, then we can sign them up for a class. And he said, yeah, you could just sit there with your drink and watch. So maybe I'll do that.
I'm with that.
Only if the kids want to. I don't think they're going to want to. I think they're going to be super content with just getting on the little sleds and going down hills and making snowmen.
And making snowmen and
Yeah,
stuff. I think they'll love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what else I'm not looking forward to is this 4-hour drive. I hate driving. Now, I don't mind driving local. Like I'm in real estate. I show houses, right? Like I actually enjoy having people in the car and driving around with them in the car.
Right.
Did that yesterday. But I hate driving far. Like Vegas is about as far as I'm going to go.
Right.
4 hours is my max.
Well, isn't that how far it is to Mammoth?
It's the only reason we're driving. Or else we'd have to figure something else out. But yeah, it's
going to be
4-hour
fun.
drive.
It's going to be a road trip. It's going to be on a trip and a route that we've never been on before. So it should be fun.
Well,
Do a little bit of sightseeing. You could pass by the poppy fields on the way out because they're all in bloom right now.
we're not stopping anywhere.
We're not stopping. I'm just saying driving by and checking them out.
I'll slow down like 5 less miles per hour. All right, take a picture. Done.
We were there. We saw it.
We were there. So I got some advice, right? And I got a map. Who does MapQuest? I got to MapQuest it just to see our route. I just want to see the route that it tells us to go.
You're going to MapQuest it?
Not while we're driving. I'm going to do it before so I can see the route that it tells me to take, right?
They have Google Maps on your phone. You're going to go MapQuest? Is it even around still?
Yeah, I still use it.
You are way too much.
So somebody's got to help me with this.
You are a creature of old habits.
For sure.
You
For
need
sure.
to evolve. He
I'm
said
fine just the way I am.
MapQuest.
Listen, every time I try to do Google Maps, it's like no internet service or something. I'm sick of Google Maps, so I don't even do it anymore.
There's something wrong with your phone.
Probably.
Or the user.
Probably. But so I'm gonna MapQuest it.
Okay. Are you going to print it too?
Probably. Probably.
Please do not print it.
I'm having kids read me these
Don't
directions.
waste my ink. I need that for printing checks.
I'm gonna get the old map book. Remember the map book?
Please.
We'll have
it's
the kids learn.
It's called a Thomas Guide.
We'll have the kids learn how
You
to use
don't even know
it.
how to read a Thomas Guide.
Yes, I do. I used to work at
Okay,
the
good.
gas company. We use a Thomas Guide to get
I used
everywhere.
to use a Thomas Guide all the time.
We had to use it to get to our jobs.
When I got my driver's license, that's the first thing my dad said. You better learn how to use this Thomas Guide so you don't get lost somewhere.
Wow.
I had a Thomas Guide in my car.
Nice. So
Who else had a Thomas guide?
so let me tell you when Google Maps fails. What if
Okay.
there's no internet in the area? What are you gonna do?
That's why we have navigation in our cars.
Man, does navigation Lexus has the worst navigation.
I know.
Upsets me. But so anyhow, I got some advice like, hey, what's the best route to go, right?
Right.
So I talked to one of our friends, April,
Uh-huh.
right? Love the Regos, right?
Mm-hmm.
April and Mike. So they actually have a cabin up there, which we learned later.
Right.
We could have just rented from them.
I know. We're renting from them next time.
Well, 100%.
Maybe in the summer.
Well, if we ever go back,
We're going to see if we like it.
we're gonna see if we like it first. But yeah, she was like, "Oh yeah, you got to we take the 14 to the end, and then we take the 58, and then through Mojave or whatever." She's like, she gave me a great tip. Make sure everybody stops in Mojave to use the bathroom
Oh, okay.
because there's nothing for like the next 2 hours,
Oh,
right?
Wow.
So I was like, "Oh, great, thanks, April. I'm all that's a great
Excited.
tip." And then she's like, "But make sure you're all together because there's so many dangerous people at the bathroom stops." I'm like,
Oh,
she's like,
Lord.
there's like drug addicts walking around. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
thanks.
great.
So bring a gun.
Oh, my gosh. Will my pepper spray do that you just got me?
Yeah, we're gonna have to pepper spray it up. I told her, I was like, maybe we'll drive like an envoy style, right? Like I'll have my brother, like we'll be behind each
Yeah.
other if we're able to figure that out.
Right.
I'm like, I'll have my brothers with me. We'll be good,
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, and plus I'm like the smallest brother out of all of them, so we should be
Right.
all right.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we have a lot of people cracking up at you at the fact that you still use MapQuest and decide to print things out. My mom, her phone died, so she said she's going to talk to us later. Mom, thank you for watching it. When you watch us back, we appreciate you. She's so cute. And Tanya's very excited about the trip. And she's also cracking up at you. So is Sol. And so is your sister Lulu, because they all know you're ridiculous. They use MapQuest. And Tanya said, oh, hell no, to the drug addicts that are going to be haunting us as we get out to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows if that's the right route? Once I get on MapQuest,
Well, I just
I'll be able to tell
saw-
you if that's the best route or not.
Well, listen, Linda. So our producer said that Google Maps has offline maps. You input where you're going, and it downloads offline maps. So when you have no service, it still has internet.
Oh.
Okay, we're bringing you into 2010 now. 2010 is the year.
It's new to me.
And there's this thing called Google Maps.
So this is why every time we got a car,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we used to lease cars forever.
Right.
Every time we got a car, all I cared about
Was
does
the
it have-
navigation.
does it have good navigation
Right. You became reliant upon that.
and a moonroof?
So you go from having a car with no navigation, so now you have this nice, navigation, but you're still stuck on those MapQuest
Well,
as default.
if I'm at home,
Mm-hmm.
right, and I'm trying to map out my next day, like somewhere I've never been before,
Right.
I'm in front of a laptop. Yeah, I'd look up MapQuest.
You need to be on that commercial. That needs to be on that commercial that comes out. What is that, State Farm? No, what is it?
Oh,
that guy?
my favorite guy.
Yeah, I don't know what those commercials are.
It's for homeowners not to be like their parents.
Yes, that's you. You need to be on the show.
That's
on
you,
that
girl.
Commercial.
That's totally you. So that's
I don't use MapQuest
You
or
are-
print it.
so those commercials. I haven't seen those commercials in a while.
I know. Well, now they have some new material. That and printing out tickets at the movie theater.
We'll have to play one of those commercials on the next show.
Yes.
But you're totally that person. You're the
Why?
type of person that will be at a store and you're like to the employee, what is your name?
I don't
Jennifer. You're like, Jennifer, I need to talk to your manager because you were amazing today.
What's wrong with making somebody's day and telling them how great they are? I feel like in today's world, people do not get the credit they deserve. And guess what? Not everybody provides great customer service. That is like a thing of the past. Like, I think that's just gone out the window. So, yes, I am going to tell their manager when they're doing well because it is a rarity now these days.
Okay, but that's exactly the commercial. There's a commercial out about this.
I am
it's the same. It's
I
the
am
same,
my parents.
It's the same thing that you're talking to me about. So we are those people.
Okay, well,
Maybe that's why we like those commercials so much.
maybe. Do some of our commercials is too much. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's been great hanging out with you this last hour. That is going to be our show. Thank you again for always supporting us here on R&R, Relationships and Real Estate. Be sure to catch us here weekly on Facebook Live every Wednesday at noon. We are your hosts, Corey and Chris Silva, and we will catch you next week. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.